Rogers is an autistic boy. He's 15 years old. He's been missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And everybody has been looking for him. Everybody. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 120 pounds. Sandy blonde hair, and he wears glasses. And again, there is no footprint of him whatsoever.
You think back, and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset, or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. That morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving.
This boy, I've done told y'all, reminds me of my son that had autism, that is my third son. And he disappeared right down the road from part of where my family lives. And I take all of these cases serious. I am not playing about anything right now.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play.
I'm not trying to accuse them of anything. I'm trying to tell you how suspicious they are now becoming.
Everywhere you go, you can hear the laughter. Little kids playing, chasing after. Innocence shines bright like a built-in light. With their giggles and smiles, everything feels right. Oh, the joy of little children filling up the air. Their happiness, contagious, nothing can compare. Just watch them run and play, carefree and wild. Oh, the joy of little children.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody. It is June 17th on Tuesday, 2025. Hello, beautiful Millie and Janice and Heather. Hello there. Very interesting title. Gypsy Girl, hello. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. Red's Paradise, hello, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you, Miss Grace. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Oh, thank you so much, Grace. Bluegrass Meadows, hello, fam. Hello, good to see you. Always late. Hello, beautiful. Hello. I'm trying to see. Show Poodles, good afternoon. Hello, there's that beautiful poodle dog I get to look at. I was on the phone with Miss Millie the other night, and she got to see a beautiful standard poodle that was loose and got in my yard. And it was about 10:30 at night, and I knew exactly who it belonged to. But I'm like, stay on the phone with me before I get pew-pewed, because I don't think nobody was home. I don't know why it was out or how it got out. But anyway, I'm thinking one of the kids might have let it out. I'd been so upset if I'd have went home and mine was out. But anyway, I walked it over, and the freaking light come on, one of those lights, and I put it in the gate. And honey, it was trying to get back out of that gate. I was like, oh no. But yeah, Lord have mercy. Anyway, yeah, but I was like, oh, do I need to bring it in my house? Like, Miss Millie, stay on the phone with me, please. But yeah, beautiful black poodle. So I'm glad to see your poodle today. Hello. And hello, Susie Little. Hello, hello. Daily Tab, hello. Good afternoon, and I hope you're doing okay today. Many blessings to you. Many prayers. Beverly V, hello. Frank, hello. Good to see you too. Hello, hello. Terry Parker, good afternoon. From your vacay. Ooh, that sounds fun at Isle of Palm, South Carolina. You enjoy that, honey. Enjoy that. M. Blanc, hello, hello. Janice said, welcome everybody. That's right. Give it a thumbs up. Mama Risa, hello, hello. Well, let's see. D. White. BMW Coupe, hello. Mamal, hello. I know I get to talk and I get behind here. I'm sorry about that. Susan Elizabeth, hello. Nicey Marie, hello, hello. Sherry Lynn. Oh my gosh, YouTuber, hello. It's so good to see you all. Stephanie Williams. Love seeing you all. Thank you for being here. Leslie, keep it real. So good. I think I'm down there at the bottom. I think I am. So everybody, welcome. Welcome here. This is your channel, your home as well. Fun to ski, pitter patter. Hello, hello. Hello to all. Welcome in. And I'm going to tell you, I've been working on another one. So I am going to do another Sebastian tonight. You're going to get 2 for 1 tonight, honey. Today, tonight, wherever it is. What you know what I'm talking about. You know what your name is. You know. Just saying. Just saying. I'm doing 2 Sebastians today. So this one might be a little bit shorter, but I do have one over there. I've been compiling together and everything. So I just wanted you to know I am going to do that one today. And I had it all together. One of my dogs jumped up there. I was trying to eat some chicken a while ago. God, I don't know why I do that every time I get ready to go live. But anyway, y'all hear me complaining again. But anyway, I had the old chicken a while ago. And so the dog was up there and I had laid my stuff down that I was writing and my papers. And then I had I thought I had a box on top of it. And nope. There she goes diving for it. I'm like, I'm getting up now. Making you hungry. Ugh. I didn't eat all of it. I got to where I can't eat all of it. But anyway, yeah, I'm like, my paper flew everywhere. I'm like, well, I hope it's in order. I guess I'll get it straightened out sooner or later. Anyway, that was hubby's fault. He brought it in here while I was trying to work. And I'm like, really? I don't know. So, yeah. But anyway, what I wanted to kind of just talk about today is to let the truth out, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you, God. So help you people, whoever you are. So we will try not to be accusatory, but sometimes, you know, all the things. But no, really, it is time to let the truth out, okay? Sebastian, we're going on 16 months, y'all, and Sebastian's still gone, and I don't feel like that there's any truth out there. I mean, there may be some truth, and we're piecing the truth together, okay? So I'm not saying there's no truth, but I'm just saying somebody knows the truth, and they're not, they're not coming forward. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Heck, I'm gonna try, y'all. Okay. Heck, I can't say I blame them because, honestly, if you did something real wrong, I'm talking about real wrong, you ain't trying to be all hitting up on the police's door saying you did something wrong, are you? I'm just saying, think about that. But it's time, okay? Time is up. Time's coming. It's going to come out anyway. So living your free life. It's over. It's over. It's over for good now. Because it's really going to be over for good here pretty soon. Okay? And I'd rather it be on my terms than their terms. I really would. And I'd rather it be on my terms than your partner in crime's terms. That's just my opinion. Hey, H. Davis. Hello, everybody coming in. Oh, yeah, mine does too, Funsky. You know that. Y'all done heard it many a times. But, you know, so it's called Break the Silence today. And that's a challenge for you. And also, I didn't put it in my title, but as usual, I want to demand, and just because I demand something don't mean nothing, but I want to demand the transparency from everyone, including law enforcement. And listen, I ain't stopped writing them letters. Let me tell you what I did earlier. I sent it to TBI and I sent it to Sumner County, but I did request a FOIA. I asked them, I said, hey, look, and I sent it, yes, to the correct department and all the bull crap. I said, look, you know, I want, you know, under my rights, so I did it correctly, you know, put the statutes, put all the things. And I said, I want to request, and I'll pay for it if I have to, but I want to request how many people has been interviewed. Well, let me just see. Let me see exactly how I said it. Hold on a minute. I don't want to lie to y'all. Hold on. Let me go back to my... I hadn't heard back from TBI yet, but I did hear back from Sumner County, of course. Okay. Miss Karen again, because I sent her something the other day. I hate this email because I always got to go in sent to see what I sent. Hold on a minute. Okay. Anyway, under Tennessee, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, what I was requesting was respectfully requesting access to the public records regarding the case of missing Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who was last seen on blah, 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 blah. I am specifically requesting, one, a total number of individuals. I don't want their names. I'm just asking individuals interviewed in the course of this investigation. Two, a general breakdown interview of categories such as family, neighbors, school officials, or other relevant groups. I am not seeking any private or identifying information, just a number, a categorical data. I understand certain aspects of the case is active and may be exempt from disclosure, and I am not requesting sensitive details. My sole purpose is to better understand the scope of the investigative response thus far. Please let me know, and if there are any associated fees with this, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for your time and transparency and for your service. And I put my real name, da, 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 da. So she sends me rather quickly. She sends me rather quickly, and she says, we do not have any documentation that has been requested. So I thought, how'd she misunderstand that, honey? So I just wrote, no, I am requesting it. So then she sends me back and she says, when I said I am requesting it, then she sends back, I got to get it in my inbox again. Hold on a minute. Then she says, where am I at? Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Oh, then she says, we don't have any of the requested documentation in our office. Okay. Why don't they have any? What happened to it? Did they lose it? have they not interviewed him? I hope Seth is hearing this, and I'll gladly send him a copy of this. I'm not putting it out on the streets, but I will gladly if he wants it. Why do they not have that documentation? Where is the proof? Where? Do they not document who they spoke to, who they interviewed, what, when, where? I'm just wondering. So now I sent the same thing to TBI, and I am waiting on a damn response. Now, I will tell you who will get a copy of this, and that'll be everybody that I've sent and continue to send to do an internal investigation on Sumner County. Anyway, none of that's important, okay? Y'all get the drift. I just wanted y'all to know. I got off track here for a minute. Let me get back on track. Sorry. So anyway, why the silence? Why the silence? And I'm demanding transparency, okay? That's what I'm doing. I don't care if you like me, love me, hate me. That's what I'm doing. From law enforcement, from family, and from anybody who knows anything that should be screaming from the rooftops for this young man. We've watched the stories change. We've seen the interviews. And we've even seen some vanish, honey. We've seen the laughter. We've seen them mocking. And we've seen the silence. There should be desperation and truth-telling, in my opinion. Why has it been 16 months almost with no real updates? Why hasn't there been anyone? No, let me back the freak up. Why hasn't the one who was last seen with Sebastian, which would be his mother, allegedly, publicly begging for answers, for searches, for justice? Why the silence? Why is she allowing this, all of this, if she did nothing wrong? I've seen, I can't speak for nobody else, but I've seen timelines change. I've seen details change and altered. And I've seen people or a person who wasn't even home that night seem to control the entire narrative. How does someone who wasn't there, Chris, become the mouthpiece for this entire story? Why does it seem like his version is the one being protected? Why does it feel like she's being protected? Maybe that's not the full picture, but it's enough to shift the story, enough to cause confusion, and enough to hide the truth. And this is not about blame. This is about truth. Look, I'm speaking for myself. I'm begging anyone with a conscience, a neighbor, a family member, a so-called friend, any co-workers, any ex-wives, any ex-co-workers, any acquaintances, anybody that was in Texas Roadhouse. I know everybody's seen that footage. Speak up. If you know something, you need to say something, and you need to tell the truth. You don't have to go public to do that. You don't have to risk your job. You don't have to risk your family. But you can call in an anonymous tip. You can whisper silently the truth. If you come here to me, I'm not going to give up my source in a court of law on a stack of Bibles, honey. And I'm not telling you to come to me. I'm just saying. Hell, if Katie can stay silent, surely Smiley can stay silent. If you're covering for someone in this situation, it's covering for Sebastian's suffering or worse. That's what it's doing. And what if it was you or yours? It may not be now, but it could be someday. We don't know what someday's going to bring. And I'm not backing down. The truth will come out. I say, hello, everybody coming in. Yes, she wants to move on. She definitely wants to move on. That's not that hard to see. It's not. Did Sebastian leave voluntarily? Still, in my opinion, I firmly say no, absolutely no. Everybody else has their opinions, their thoughts. They can believe anything they want to believe. But I say no. All of his shoes was found at home at the front door. Hey, Sandy the mouse. Well, you know, there's something very interesting about that. I don't know if they are or not. I can't say yes or no. This is what I'm going to say to that. How about I'm going to say it like this, okay? This is how I'm going to say it. And if Chris ever runs across this, or somebody wants to run it to Chris, and Chris wants to jump on a live, and not my live, if he feels the need, maybe he feels the need to make a TikTok video or something. I don't know. I found this interesting. Well, actually, it's going to be a comment I'm going to make. Hey, Chris. I never figured you to be a trailer park boy. Has anybody ever watched Trailer Park Boys? If you did, I thought that was the funniest shit I ever saw. I know none of you has a clue what I'm talking about right now. But if you did, you can go ahead and put your little character in there who you think Chris might be. I'm sorry. So, I don't think he's Bubbles. I think he's a little bit smarter than Bubbles. Hey, Jen. Hello. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know if they're together or not. And I know y'all in the audience don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but it is funny that you mentioned that. So my comment is just this. I don't know what's going on about the trailer park, but I never assumed, and there's nothing wrong with trailers. I'm not making fun of trailers whatsoever. I am speaking about something right now. If only in my head, y'all need to stop. I just never saw Chris as the trailer park boy type. That's all I'm going to say. So we need to stop that, okay? We need to stop that. Oh my God, I had my 5 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, so I don't know. Are they or not? I don't know. If they are, it's probably for show. All we'll ever know is probably if the truth ever comes out. That's probably when we'll know, if and when this comes out. Hey, Jacqueline. Hey, everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. Y'all hit that thumbs up. I know. Oh, Lord, if you only knew. I only knew what I knew. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord, take that wheel. But anyway, back to the program, Smiley. All of Sebastian's shoes was found at home, and the house was locked, raising the doubts that he left on his own. He reportedly hated being barefoot and cold, making it unlikely that he wandered off voluntarily. So, I don't believe that. Never will believe it. But Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, his stepfather, that's the truth, the fact, y'all are still on it. His stepfather reportedly disciplined him very harshly in the past. That come out on my interview, and Lord knows that's when Seth found out, and I hated that. I really, God, y'all don't even know how bad I hated that. Back then there was a lot of shock going on, all kinds of things. Now that I look back, sometimes hindsight is 2020, a lot of shock. But anyway, that somebody said, Smiley, hey, Angel. Hey, I'm sorry, Angel. I did see Angel, and I was like, what are they talking about? Well, welcome, Angel. But I did see, somebody said back then, Smiley wasn't shocked. She's part of this, whatever. Honey, wasn't nobody more shocked than Smiley. I was shocked, especially when me and Seth talk about that, now, like when Seth come up on my panel or whatever, honey, wasn't nobody more shocked than I was. I was shocked. But anyway, so we're all good now. It's all good. But anyway, Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, he disciplined Sebastian, in my opinion, and a lot of others very harshly. Sebastian was autistic. That's just not the way you do. There's other ways you handle things like that. And his birth father, Seth, alleges that people were following searchers and removing flyers. But not only Seth said that, I watched a video where, many people come up, and people had cameras going and stuff, and, told what was going on about flyers being pulled down here and there. And we had one entire crew, professionals, that left. They were even on the news. They left because they said they had been threatened. We've had people's cars messed with, and all sorts of creators wanting to help, just help, that were threatened, pointed at, doxxed, and they decided way back, and that they were just going to leave and give up, and that's a shame, and it's sad, and they have big channels, and I too have been, but I'm just either too damn stupid or too contrary or something, because I don't listen to the nonsense, or I dare someone to, with me or mine, because I'll stand my ground and I'm not going to back down. It's stupid. Either I'm going to meet Jesus or you are. It's that simple. I don't let that bother me anymore. It just don't. And I'm ready to meet Jesus, honey. I'll go be with my mama. It don't matter to me. Are you? The public has speculated about possible misdirection or withholding information. Why would you do that in a child's case? Why? Some people suggest Sebastian might have been in contact with someone online, possibly a predator who lured him out. Where is it? There hasn't been any public confirmation of this digital evidence, so-called suspicious contact. I asked Sumner County credit. Where's it at? Where's the proof? Just like where's the beef? Where's the proof? Craddock. Has anybody got solid proof to this? Ellie, what about you? What say you, honey? Where's it supposed to be at? Are we supposed to be looking for any certain cars? Any certain man or woman with tattoos, straight hair, bald? Are there any systems, for that these people are in for prior crimes that we need to be looking for? Huh? They had us looking for that in Monkey Michael Vaughn's case. What about you? What say you, Sumner County? You ain't said a damn thing. Thank you, Mally Cat. Thank you for the gifted membership. Whoever got that, please thank Mally Cat. Thank you so much. Sumner County, do you think Sebastian is still alive or being held by the cartel, maybe? A gang member? Which one? Just asking. I'm just asking. Does these neighbors, the community there, do they need to board up and lock their kids down? I would like to know that myself because, see, I have grandkids there. Should I tell my son not to let them go at certain places up there on Friday nights, maybe Saturday? Should they not be able to go to certain places or certain friends' house? Should they be on the lookout for somebody? Should my son put a air tag on my grandkids? It's been almost 16 months. Should they move out of Sumner County? Should I tell them and my other family members what they need to look for? Exactly, while the reward sets. Nobody's coming for that reward. You know why nobody's coming for that reward? Y'all figure it out. Smiley knows. Ellie knows. I bet it could get up to $10 million and nobody's going to come for that reward. Ellie needs to get up and work. Local investigators from Sumner County Sheriff's Office and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation conducted interviews with family members, particularly Sebastian's mother, stepfather, and biological father, as well as neighbors and potential witnesses. Again, I asked for that this morning and FOIA'd. And you see what the lady told me? Is that work lost? Is that why y'all can't do anything, LE? Is that lost? Is those interviews lost? Their home was searched multiple times with dogs, and numerous interviews were done within the household and local area. But what law enforcement has not said is how many people have been interviewed to date. Any recently, any follow-ups, any checkups. Yet they have said no one is a suspect and no one is cleared, though. And who is the potential witnesses? Who is the potential witnesses? We don't need to know their names. But how do you have a witness? A witness or witnesses if you don't have no footage and never saw Sebastian leaving, never have anything on camera anywhere? Witnesses? What witnesses? What witnesses? Or damn it, do you? Exactly, me mama. Katie hasn't publicly explained her absence and why she never went to a prayer vigil. The most probable reasons are probably coordination with the police, which I'm almost positive, again, she of all people will want to stay as far away from any law enforcement she can, in my opinion, unless she's going to tell the truth. But I bet she don't even dare go to Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts, because that's her fear. Her fear will be she'll see a cop. That's my opinion. Just my opinion. But see, it's been rumored because they won't go because she gets that they get threats. But that's not true. It cannot be true. I never bought they were scared of Bullhorn Betty. I don't care what nobody says. It's not true. Do you want to know why they're not scared and why it's not true? It's not true because they travel freely. They have from day one. They left their home. They went on the road. I know for a fact she goes to the casino to gamble up there at the Kentucky line. They go out to eat all the time. They're not scared. The day of the vigil, the first vigil at the school, which is, 3 minutes from her house? If that. They could have walked. They're out shopping for Harley Davidsons. My point being is, they're not scared. I mean, the very first one, they were going to have it, at the house. But yeah, I do too, Nicey Marie. The very first one, they were going to have it at the house. That's why they moved it to the school. But it was, I'll be damned, and they better not get my house on camera. How'd that work out for you, Mr. Chris? How'd that work out for you? See, remember now, they are famous. They are known. But like us, they don't know who people are. That's the scariest part about doing this. We don't know who people are. We don't know the crazy people that's going to be in somebody's chat when people go real life. That's the scariest part of this. It's not the creators. They're not scared. They keep on keeping on, right? It's literally hard for me to go out to Walmart. It's hard for me to want to get out of the house because of these crazy people. They don't care. They're living their best life. They're not scared. It's okay. You know absolutely nothing about it. Well, his mom was the last one with him. A lot of people believe the stepdad was there, but he was supposed to be 3.5 hours away in Memphis. She was supposed to be on the phone talking to him 3.5 hours away. Sebastian was there with her. He told her he was going to bed. She said good night. He went in his room, went to sleep. And then she heard a thump. He's autistic. And he also has a rare chromosome, but she did not get up and check, allegedly. And the next morning she gets up basically and he was gone. But it's on camera. Nothing's on camera of him at all, but it is on camera that she had her windows rolled up. And she says she was hysterical and she was screaming out her windows and everything, but that's timestamped. There's no way she could have been doing that. She drove to the school. That's on camera and all that. She did not get out. She didn't call 911. She didn't call the biological father, which has an airtight alibi. He worked for Davidson County Metro Police, and say, hey, have you heard from our son? Anything. She calls the stepdad in Memphis, basically. And he calls Sumner County with her on three-way on mute. And he does all the talking. So come to find out, they went on Dutch's channel first YouTube interview. They come on mine. They did 3 hours on mine. On mine, they ended up saying, I asked them if they have CPS out there. He ended up telling me he does all the talking for everybody, all of it. It was at that time we learned he whipped Sebastian with the belt. It was just crazy. A lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So there's some things you might want to listen to catch up, but it's a lot of stuff. They ended up getting Bullhorn Betty saying she threatened them and harassed them. The stepfather's stepfather and Katie, all of them, the mom, all of them took out restraining orders on Bullhorn Betty. Anyway, yeah, Bullhorn Betty won that. But then there's a slap lawsuit, and Seth and them lost that. So it's just been a mess, honey. A mess. I don't know, Joe. And I mean, at that time though, I was just listening. I was letting them do their talking. You just kind of, that's what you do. Everybody wants to shut everybody down when you're interviewing. I just let people talk. And see, that's where people make their mistakes. They think, okay, you're on their side or whatever. No, I just don't shut people down. I try to treat everybody with respect until and unless they give me a reason not to. And Lord knows, I've been there plenty of times too. Thank you. But yeah, it's not easy, you know. But there's a lot of stuff, Angel. I mean, I'm so glad you're back. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. But now, I mean, everybody's silent. Chris, the stepdad, and them, they go on different panels and stuff, and it's just they hate us. They call us the green team. I'm for nobody but Sebastian. I don't care what they say. It's a habit, call them the hate team. Everybody hates everybody now. Everybody hates everybody. I don't really hate. It's just it's a mess. It's nothing but one big mess. It's like if you don't agree with somebody, then they come after you. It's crazy. It is a huge mess. And everybody forgets Sebastian's the victim. And everybody just, I don't know. But people really has been threatened. Cars have been tampered with. All kinds of things. Uvalde pulled out and left. They got on the news and said they were threatened. There's a guy that, people are followed when they're down there looking or up there looking from where I'm at. Notes put on backpacks saying, get out of here, don't come back. It's crazy. Yeah, everybody's really gone crazy. But there's absolutely no. There was one real true, that was real close sign of him, but it turned out to be nothing. Allegedly. If he's out there alive, that would be the closest, and I would go back to, but anything else I haven't seen, I don't know. And if you see Edgar, that's what Justin started, the nickname for the stepdad. That's who Edgar is. Corella. Everybody's got nicknames now too. That's the step grandmother. It's just crazy. Because it's like ever since they did that to Bullhorn Betty, they want you to do this and that. Smiley don't give a damn. I'm just going to say their name. I want people to know their name because, look, if somebody comes in here from their job or an old job or something, look, I want them to know who I'm talking about, honey. And if they not have any information, I want them to turn it in. Where is Sebastian? Where is he? Speak it. But I do know that Ellie is keeping this very close to the vest if they have anything, but it seems like they are shut down. They're shut down. They're not giving any press conferences. They're not coming out saying anything. We're going to go back in just a minute and watch the first week. And then we're going to watch Seth, like earlier on, what he says. Hold on. We'll do this. This is the first week.
It's been nearly 1 week since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing over in Sumner County. Our Jaxie Pigeon live at the command center this morning with the very latest developments. And Jaxie, we understand reward money is now on the table.
That's right, Blake. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office tells us that a group of local investors invested a minimum of $3,000 toward any information that would
See,
help
a lot of
investigators in
people forget
finding
about
Sebastian
that.
Rogers. I now want to bring in EMA Director with Sumner County, Ken Widener. Ken, as we near this week-long search effort, where are you focusing starting today?
Well, we keep expanding. So we've expanded west and we're expanding north. We just keep expanding the search area and we're bringing different teams in. Yesterday we had a group from East Tennessee come in. They're mountainous experts and they do caves, and so we've had any cave that we've marked, we've had them in those caves. City of Gallatin has done all the storm drains in the area with cameras. So we keep expanding and just throwing everything that we can at it to try to get him located.
In terms of the search, you said you've been expanding. About how much ground have you covered?
We're close to 5 miles now. Now, the further south you go towards Hendersonville, we get into the city, and we would expect he would be located or seen if he were in the city. And we've gone into the city, sort of in the fringe, in the more not as urban areas of Henderson, but we've been all the way to the lake on the streams that travel to the lake. We've been to the lake.
And you have over 300 searchers here.
Well,
yesterday
we had 330 on the ground, and then we'll run the numbers later today on how many come in today, we run that as the day goes on.
And 43 years in law enforcement, you told me. What does this experience look like in terms of people coming together to help out in this one mission to find Sebastian Rogers?
Well, one thing about Tennessee and the Southeast is we're always going to have people that want to help. And,
no, that's not
we
him.
get calls from across the state for people that want to come in and help us. And the thing that we've got to do is be able to manage that. So we track everybody that's on the ground. The first 2 days we did 2,000 miles of people walking. And we haven't run those numbers for the entire duration of this operation, but it's great, and to be able to call in specialized groups that do the things that we can't do is really good.
And what keeps you going as you're keeping going after this week just to find Sebastian Rogers? How do you keep going, you and your team?
Oh yeah, just the drive to find him. We'll go talk to the parents in a little while, and every morning we sit and talk to them. We're going to do everything for them and for Sebastian to get him located.
Thank you so much, Ken. If you do have any information, you're asked to reach out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI. Also check those cameras, like they said, Sunday to Monday, Sunday afternoon to Monday morning. For now, live in Hendersonville, Jaxie Pigeon, back to you.
Our thanks to Jaxie for that live interview there. Really good information. You can hear they're expanding their search efforts this morning, continuing to expand, searching every possible area where Sebastian could be, but also relying on the community to check those security cameras and to check your yards. And if you are searching, only search in pairs. So as we continue to learn any new information about this story, we will first pass that along to you at WKRN.com.
All right, and then let me take this down. Hold on. Let's see. News Nation. Let me play a little bit of music. I don't know about News Nation. Hold on. I don't think I've ever played theirs. I might have.
Sebastian's father, and Heather Cohen, a private investigator who is now working with him.
Now, this was early on.
Thank you both for joining us. Seth, I have to start with you. First of all, I can't imagine being in your shoes. I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this, and I'm grateful that you're joining us tonight. I think our viewers need to understand Sebastian was not physically in the home with you. You are no longer married to his mother. But I just want to check in with you, see how you're doing, and if you know anything tonight that you can share with us.
Just know that he's still missing. I know that there's been really no leads that have been shared with me by law enforcement.
When you say there's no leads, are you working with law enforcement? Are they communicating with you?
Not communicating with me. They're communicating with anybody who'd be my private investigator.
Okay, Heather, I want to weave you into the conversation. You started working with Seth Why are you working with Seth, and what can you tell us so far?
Well, I had received several phone calls, people asking me to get involved in the case, but I wouldn't do it until I was invited in by a family member or law enforcement. And I did end up getting that phone call. A friend of mine said they had talked to Seth and he was looking for somebody, a PI to hire, and he had referred me. So I called Seth and here we are. That was about 2 weeks ago. And yes, law enforcement was standoffish at first with me. And I think that's just because, they had some, Seth can be hard to deal with because he's going through a lot right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of trauma. So what can you tell us so far about your investigation? What have you learned? What were the circumstances of the home, of his mother, of his stepdad, the thud that they heard?
Well, I can tell you that from my investigation, I believe that this is a domino effect of events. I believe that we have to go all the way back to probably December and January are going to be key months. There are a lot of events. There was a lot of turmoil surrounding Sebastian. We know that ChrisProudfoot was in the middle of a custody battle with his ex-wife. We know that the daughter did visit over Christmas break. We know that Sebastian was with Seth during that time. We know that that there was a DCS referral in, I believe, February to the Stafford home. That call was likely determined to be unfounded because the case was closed and that file is restricted at this time. I know Seth has tried to find out more about that call and he has been unsuccessful in doing so. But I've also recently learned that there may have been some talk about Chris leaving Katie. And I feel that probably had something to do with Sebastian. So there may have been some trouble in paradise. To me, these are all things that need to be considered. Could these things have led up to maybe Sebastian just feeling a certain kind of way?
That might be why they're quiet, but I don't know.
If he overheard a conversation between Chris and Katie where Chris is saying he can't deal with it anymore, he's out, whatever, that could have been motivation for Sebastian to just leave.
Seth, I want to bring you back into the conversation. Was Sebastian safe at his mother's home?
I've heard some things. I have mixed feelings about that.
Were you addressing it with your former wife?
Information that has been brought to my attention has been information received.
Okay. Now, listen to me. That was so heartbreaking because a lot of that information come out in my live with the Proudfoot. And when I tell you, I was so heartbroken to know that. You have to know me to know how that made me feel. He had no idea of a lot of things that was going on in their home. And it was disgusting for them, in my opinion, to put that out there. I had no idea. I will tell y'all, and Seth can tell you, immediately when that happened, though, the only way I knew to get a hold of Seth, and he didn't have a cash app, somebody else did in their name, I immediately sent him $5, and I'm like, I want you to know I am so sorry. But I still did not know. No, but this day, Joanne, it still makes me cringe. It still hurts me to the bone. I still had no idea. I still had no idea. I mean, can you imagine I can't imagine. That's something that will always hurt my heart. It'll always hurt my heart. And where did I hear that? I don't know if I heard it today, if I was listening to something, or where I heard it, but it was something I was listening to. I don't know, man. I don't know. Angel said, what do you think happened? Okay, so everybody pretty much here knows what I think. Even said, I hope he's not listening to him because I hate for him to listen. And I do stay in contact. I try to now. I really try to look at both ways and stay positive. I mean, I do think he made it home from Texas Roadhouse, Angel. I'll just put it like this. He did not run away. I think absolutely no way, positively, he did not run away. Thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. But I believe, in my opinion, there's a huge possibility Chris was there for different reasons. But I think, regardless if he was or he was not, I think something happened to him in that home. And I think alive or medicated heavily and took off and traded out the next morning for whatever reason. He was took out in her car from that garage, but he never, when she claimed to be looking for him or whatever, Chris's mom was seen down the road early that morning before he was even reported missing. And I just, I just don't think he left that house. But I do think he came home. Now, we're watching Voices of Truth with Mama Risa and Hindsight and BMW. And a lot of, and their thoughts are they don't think he made it home from the Texas Roadhouse. And that's okay. We all think different things. They say that there was video cam. I wish my phone would stop doing that. That they had video dash cams, what I'm trying to say, Angel, and voice on there that say that Sebastian made it home. There is a photo or a video of him taking out the trash, but the problem is it's so grainy. Ellie or Seth, his father, cannot even tell if that is him. And the only person that had on the dark clothes with the hoodie was his mom, Katie, at the Texas Roadhouse. So I don't know. But I do believe he did make it home. That's just my opinion. Yeah, we can, Mama Risa. Yeah, I don't have no problem with that. Yeah, exactly. I'm just letting Angel know because I don't know if you know or not. She's been off for a while, and so she knows literally nothing about this case. And Angel is very smart, and I want to try to answer whatever questions I can. And so she knows me well too, and so I hope she thinks the same as me as I do of her. But yeah, we're going to make it through this one way or another. But yeah, I want her to come and watch. Oh, thank you so much. I want her to know that y'all are in commission over there and at least go watch. And maybe that's something she can, form her own opinions on too as well. Yeah, Angel is a great researcher. She's had experience in, the courts and stuff like that too. Lord have mercy, what is wrong with this phone? I know I've turned it down 7 times. Oh, the top button I didn't. Yeah, she enjoys it. She enjoys the debates too. Yeah, as long as we can all color inside the lines. That's right. That's right. But yeah, but that's what I think. That's just what I think. It don't mean I'm right, but I'm going to tell you, and I listen to Deception Detective a lot too. And so does Justin. And I'm not pushing anybody's views off on you or whatever, but I'm naming people that Angel, that again, you said you didn't know anything about this. And I'm just telling you that a lot of people since you've been gone too now, I will tell you, has turned to the dark side. That's to put it mildly. But, and I won't name any names or anything like that, because everybody can have their own thoughts, opinions, still do whatever. But I'm just saying that's people that I have mad respect for, and they pretty much all think the same thing, pretty much, that he didn't leave on his own. That's for sure. He did not leave on his own, regardless. It don't take a rocket scientist to know his mom was the last one with him. Period. And, she's changed her story a bunch of times. She got on America's Most Wanted, the last pretty much interview that they did, and changed her whole go around from, the YouTube streets, from Dutch's to mine to Olivia's to the regular news station to Nancy Grace to all of that, to going completely quiet to then going on America's Most Wanted. And I swear before Jesus, she sat there and rode them around trying to reenact it with them in the car, and straight up, bald face, lied about everything. We were going, what in the hell are we even watching? From the phone call to how the dad was notified, to how the police was notified, to knowing everybody's got that. Oh my God, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. It's like, what? I was about to come out of my seat. You know me, honey. Hey, Eva. Y'all got to watch. Let's see what Jack's saying. Hold on. You got to watch the news. Channel 4 just posted a man with a disability of barely being able to walk and was given a line test, and they got him for DWI. It happened in Hendersonville. Why does that not surprise me? They're getting worse and worse. Yeah, I stand with Seth. Anybody talks badly of Seth isn't someone I follow. If they flip-flop one time, it's over for me. Of course, y'all can follow whoever. That's just whoever. Right, exactly. I mean, because, yeah, and I've met an Angel. I have met him. There's no way. He is the most kindest. He's very cautious, and he has a very sincere. Did you send it to me? Because I think you're going to have to email it, Jack, and to me. He is the most kindest, sincere person, but he has very good reason to be cautious. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he watches everything, and he's pretty much alone. And then you got these people. We'll get to that in a minute. We ain't even going to get there. But anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. Did you email that to me? Somebody dropped my email because it didn't. I can't get yours, Jack, in the chat, but we will watch it if you drop it to me. Because it won't do it if you're not a mod. I don't know. But let's finish watching this anyway.
Received since Sebastian has left.
And the morning after he left, what happened in the home? Can you answer that?
I know that I received a phone call on my cell phone that I didn't get until I got off of work. Everything else would be law enforcement or speaking to ChrisProudfoot to figure out what happened.
Try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Oh, I didn't know it was over. I would have just stopped it a while ago. Oh, yeah. And Angel, Chris, the stepdad, text him at work. Okay. They had all the phone numbers they could have called for an emergency inside to his people inside his job, even though he worked at the jail, and got that message to Seth. But listen to this. So she didn't call, okay? And she didn't call, his supervisors or whoever and say they had emergency. So Chris texts and knowing that he can't take his phone in jail, texts his phone, the dad's phone. The stepdad texts the dad's phone. So then when he gets off from work, he gets it, okay? And it says, call him ASAP, whatever. So he calls him. Guess what the first thing that the stepdad says to the dad? Don't be mad. Is that not crazy? Don't be mad. Why would you say don't be mad? It's just strange altogether, if you ask me. But okay. So anyway, yeah, all that happened. But yeah, at the very first vigil, they didn't have nothing in my, that I think that they should have been scared of, but they didn't even go and do that. So y'all can just wake up on that. They ain't scared, in my opinion. So where is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers? He no longer needs to. Yeah, and he also, when they were riding after they got home, he also told Seth to get their story straight. What? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So anyway, yeah, that's crazy. So Sebastian needs to be, y'all need to tell where Sebastian's at, actually. In my opinion, he no longer needs to be kept a secret. He's not this dirty little secret somewhere. It don't need to be kept a secret what happened. It don't need to be kept quiet. Nobody needs to be protected. Everybody's grown. Okay? So if you have any information, you need to tell it, and you need to tell it today. And listen to me, law enforcement. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Sumner County, Craddock, law enforcement, Brandon, everybody. And I know I'm nobody, but hopefully you'll hear me. I sure hope you're taking every single lead when they come in seriously, no matter how small or how silly you think they are. And I hope you're investigating every single one. Stop letting Sebastian fall through your cracks, because they are your cracks. We're still searching, we're still speaking, and we're still fighting. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is still missing. And we're not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until he's found. No matter who's hiding the truth, let's break this silence. If anybody, neighbors, again, anybody that was in Texas Roadhouse, co-workers, anybody that's ha kicked it up, any of these creators that's he kicked it up, if you know something, turn it in. 1-800-TBI-FIND, 615-451-3838, or 1-800-CALL FBI. And if you have to, call 1-800-TELL-DOG. But just call. And if you think you see Sebastian anywhere, call 911 and take a snapshot. I appreciate you all being here, and I will come back on tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everybody being here. I appreciate you so much. And y'all have a great day. Bye.